The Decatur County Fair is back, and so are Buy Right Auto's Fair Time Deals. Buy Right Auto is offering what you have been waiting for, the fairest, craziest deals of the year. Mention you heard us on WTRE for $100 gas to go with your crazy fair deal purchase. Come to Buy Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore, 9.
Good evening. Fair News Live at 5, coming to you from WTRE Radio. Good evening.
Happy Saturday, everyone, and welcome to the Decatur County 4-H Fair. I'm Joshua Marsh, along with Emily Versman for our evening news wrap-up. Once again, it is going to be a great evening for the fair. We've got a little bit of rain falling, but it's
going to move on,
it's
though,
moving
right?
on out. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to Saturday night of the Decatur County 4-H Fair.
We are halfway through. Everyone's done a great job so far. It's been a great fair. We do want to say a big thank you to Silking International. They're our sponsor of Fair News Live at 5. So today has been a very busy day on the fairgrounds. I know everyone's been watching the weather, but it fared pretty well, not to, use any irony there. But they started this morning. The Horse and Pony Show started at 9 this morning. Have you ever watched a rabbit show?
I have not, actually, and I didn't make it down there today.
As Morgan and I were going through the rabbits last night, we decided if it was a little fluffy, that was good, had a cute tail, but we don't know how to judge those. The Gilton Burrow Swine Show taking place today, and then, of course, the big one, the Baby Show.
All of that happened today across the 4-H fairgrounds. I was out here for a lunch, and it seemed like we had a great crowd, and then after the swine show, it seemed like even better. I talked to my friends over at the Optimist booth, and they said that they had a great lunch and was hoping people would come out and join them for dinner tonight as well. So big shout out to the Optimist and all that they do in our community, but also serving lunch up on a Saturday.
They were, and I know, everybody's been trying to decide, are you open during the day, are you open during the evening, and everyone's kind of finding their groove. So we appreciate everyone being out and about and taking care of business. We open class projects, 4-H projects are all done except for on Monday. It's the big open class project. It's the pie.
It is, and so I think we're going to be back to talk about that on Monday evening as well. But the pie show the pie competition will be on Monday around noon, and I know a lot of people always participate in that. I have a very long story that no one's interested in about my great-grandmother participating in the pie competition, so it's something that's been in our family for a very long time.
Does that mean you're going to enter Monday?
I am not, but I will be here on Monday for WTRE's sponsorship of the pie competition, and
That's
once again,
right.
Kathy Versman has sucked me into judging that this year as well.
The Mayor Award will be
That's
chosen.
right.
That's right. So much to go on tonight in the grandstands. This is an event that has come back to Decatur County. We didn't have it for a couple years. Tonight will be the Demolition Derby. And I think you've got all the details over there.
I do. So that's going to start this evening at 7:30. The gates are already open if you're interested in getting a seat or setting up lawn chairs or getting into the pits. So pit passes are $20. Grandstands are $10. 5 and under is free. Again, it's all weather permitting, but I did see where the fair posted on Facebook that the demo derby was a go.
Well, this one make it a little bit better when it's just a little wet, I think.
I believe that to be the
You do a little slip and
case.
sliding, and I don't know how to demo derby, but it sounds fun.
It does, and as I was coming into the fairgrounds about a half an hour, 45 minutes ago, I saw there were several lined up to turn in and get in, and I've also spoken to Commissioner Jeremy Pazel, who said they've got more cars lined up tonight than they were anticipating, so it should be a great event in the grandstands. Again, that's brought to you by ToastPromotions.com. That's the demo derby that's happening in the grandstands tonight. Gates already open, and tickets are on sale.
And a reminder, I just heard some people talking a couple days ago, if you're coming to the grandstand, make sure you we've got some bleachers out there, but if that's not comfortable for you, bring your lawn chair. You can set it up on the hill. No big deal. So it's a great area to watch things. So we're excited to have that Demolition Derby back. So a big night going to take place here tonight, a Saturday night, halfway through the fair, and we've enjoyed every bit of it. So we have guests lined up for tonight. I'm excited. Tiger Sharks are going to be here at 5:15 to talk with us. Laura's Ideal Rides, I got to go over and chat with them yesterday. And they're just very intriguing anyway. But there's a new Dalmatian ride, and it's adorably cute. But it came from Sweden. And so it took 2.5 years to get here.
And Andrew with Lures is going to be here, and maybe we should ask him kind of what the process for that is, because obviously you and I don't buy or solicit get amusement rides ordered very often. So it may be a great piece of information. So he's going to join us tonight around 5:30.
He is, and then Chris Ramey will be here this evening. The big parade takes place tomorrow, starts at 5 o'clock. Lineup starts, I believe, at 3 o'clock. Chris is going to kind of go through the new parade route, lineup, all of that information. And I know that we're over 100 floats And you got your walking shoes ready for tomorrow?
I've got them on. We're ready to go.
We're ready to do this. So we are excited. WTRE will be in the parade as well. We have a little something special to be along with us, so we're excited. It goes with our groovy attitude this year. So we're very excited to have all of that on tonight. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes and get it kicked off tonight.
When you have a busy day, every minute matters. That's why the Decatur County Memorial Hospital Pharmacy offers a variety of services to help you receive the care you need to best fit your lifestyle. With a free home delivery option for Decatur County residents, a walk-in retail pharmacy, and a drive-through service, you can choose the option that allows you to receive the medications or prescriptions you need both quickly and conveniently. Our pharmacy proudly accepts all major insurances and offers discounted over-the-counter medications at our retail pharmacy. Another way DCMH is helping you receive the quality care you want close by.
Everything is getting smarter. Good thing your Decatur County REMC has the knowledge and expertise to help you make smarter, work harder. Today, there are more ways than ever to make your world more energy efficient, and Decatur County REMC can show you how. Take the next step to go electric, then put the power of Decatur County REMC to work for you. Decatur County REMC, your touchstone energy cooperative and your source for power and information.
Kolkmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain has been handling grain for area farmers for almost 50 years, with locations in St. Paul and Fairland. They supply corn to the Evan Williams Distillery and are your Purina feed dealer. Kolkmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain. They're at 102 West Pearl Street in St. Paul. Phone 765-525-4309. That's Kolkmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain of St. Paul.
Tree Country 1330 WTRE. We are back here live from the Decatur County Fairgrounds, coming to you live from the Farm and Home Building. I'm just sitting here looking back at the quill display. When you take a minute to just look, I can't imagine all the work that went into those. So we are joined tonight, Miss Tree City 2022. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, I am Taylor Smith. I am Miss Tree City 2022. I am a nursing student at Marion University, and I am excited for the Fall Festival this year.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the process of becoming Miss Tree City and all of the things you've had to do over the last year.
So Miss Tree City, you have to interview, and then you are judged for your on stage. And then you get to do as much as you want to do during the year or as little as possible. I've gone for the most. That was my goal this year, was to do as much as I possibly could.
Now, what has been like some of the main events that you've attended, some of your favorite spotlight moments?
My bar favorite was judging the pet contest at the Fall Festival. There was lots of cute animals out there with the best costumes. There were plenty of parades to be involved in and other festivals throughout the counties and surrounding counties. But yeah, you just go to any event that I saw pop up on Facebook, pretty much.
And so I know the Fall Festival's coming up. What are you doing in preparation for the 2023 Fall Festival? We talked to Rhonda Woods yesterday here on Live at 5 from the Decatur County Fairgrounds about all the exciting things happening. So I know there's a new competition coming up. What's the next month look like for you?
So I am currently planning the future pageant. Applications opened up July 1st, so I'm hoping that we have plenty of girls running. And then I just am preparing my speech and my video of all that I've done.
So if someone wants to run for Miss Tree City, how do they go about applying?
So there is a link on Miss Tree City Fall Festival Facebook page. And I'm also out on the fairgrounds today. So if you just stop by the booth, I can give you any information you need.
You want to hit her with the two big ones?
Sure. We always ask these questions. What's your favorite food out here at the fair, and what's your favorite ride?
My favorite food is by far the corn dogs. Always a fan favorite for me. And I think the more the extreme the ride, the better.
Oh, you're a daredevil.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what is, you're going to be in the booth tonight for the Tree City Fall Festival?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you as the next Fall Festival comes along and you give up your reign.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night. We will take a quick break and be right back with our next guest here on Tree Country 1330.
Hello, this is Joe Mormon, President and CEO of the Napoleon State Bank. 120 years ago, what started as a small-town bank in 1903 has now grown into a strong, locally owned bank with 7 branches that serves Ripley and Decatur counties. A bank that is thankful for our customers and employees and has continued to stay true to who we are. Now that's something worth celebrating. Learn more about our 120-year history at NapoleonStateBank.com.
The Napoleon State Bank, not your typical bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Overmeyer Agri Group wants to thank you, Decatur County and surrounding counties, for over 40 years of business. We enjoy working with you and are looking forward to serving you for many years to come. We are the top grain handling and drying business in southeast Indiana. Overmeyer Agri Group believes in quality products, superior workmanship, and are committed to serving the needs of all our customers with distinction. We are open weekdays from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday by appointment. We are large enough to serve you, yet small enough to care. And we offer a quality line of Brock bins, unloading and drying equipment. Why not give us a call today, or even better, stop by our showroom and enjoy our antique memorabilia while you find out the latest in grain handling and drying equipment available today. Call us at 812-663-4020.
Tree Country 1330 WTRE. Welcome back to Fair News Live at 5, brought to you by Silking International. We've got more guests to come, but first we've got a few more folks to thank.
We do appreciate the support for Kochmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain, Decatur County REMC, Napoleon State Bank, Decatur County Memorial Hospital, Decatur County Recycling, Byright Auto, and the Overmeyer Agri Group for helping bring Live at 5 nightly fair news to everyone, both here on site, online at WTRE Radio, on YouTube, and then also on the air both on AM and FM. So
we're a little bit everywhere this year.
We are, and those sponsors are really helping bring this together. So many thanks to them so that we can continue to have great guests talking about what's happening around the fairgrounds, just like our next one.
That's right. We've got a staple here with the Decatur County Fair. Mitch Sefton here with us, joining us from the First Christian Church. So let's first talk about the strawberry shortcakes.
Absolutely.
Way up.
Okay, so the strawberry shortcake, we've been here, goodness gracious, probably since before I was in high school, which I don't really want to say how long that's been. I would say we're probably a good 30 plus years here at the fair. And so strawberry shortcake has become a fan favorite, and we have people coming up to our booth every year saying, I'm so excited to have a shortcake again this year. So it's been really cool to see that as well. We have an amazing group of volunteers that come out, and we do this to support our youth ministry at the First Christian Church. And so it's just been a blessing to see how the community has really helped support the kids of our church and surrounding churches that come to be a part of our church, our youth ministry as well.
Now, you introduced something new this year. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So our family has recently started a shaved ice business called the Ice Box, and we have actually partnered with our children's ministry at the First Christian Church as well to help be out here. And some of the proceeds that we're making is going to be going back into our children's ministry to help pay for camp for this year, and just a lot of the different things that our children's ministry is doing at FCC as well.
And I know a lot of people do know where the church is, but where would they find you, or how do they get in contact with you if they're interested in being a part of one of those camps, or if their children want to be in children's ministry?
Absolutely. So First Christian Church is at 425 North Broadway, pretty much I think it's 2.5 blocks from downtown. So we're right in the middle of town. And so we are in a position to where we have a lot of people that they commute to church, but also that can walk to church as well. And so we're in a really great location just to be able to minister to our community. And so it's been a blessing doing that as well.
Now, for those here on the fairgrounds today and they need to find those strawberry shortcakes or they need to find the shaved ice, where are they going to find you at?
So we are, if you know where the Optimus booth is, which is also another huge staple, I just say that we're right around the corner from the Optimus booth, or we're right behind the amazing lemonade stand from another church here in our community that's been a staple as well. So we're kind of just right in that central area over here by the building, and I honestly don't know what the name of the building is that we're currently
Farm and Home Building.
Farm and Home Building. We're right across the alleyway from the Farm and Home Building. So yeah, come and find one and taste the goodness, that's for sure.
Now, we know you probably favor what you have for sale over there, but out of the fair, what's your favorite food?
Oh my goodness. So I've already had a fish sandwich from Let's. I have already had the hot mess.
You make the circuit, don't you?
I'm a born and raised Decatur County person, so I have the favorites as well. I've had the hot mess from the Fuzz Tops. I have had the glazy pork something sandwich from Cornerstone. I'm waiting on a tenderloin. I don't don't know what dinner is tonight, but it's pretty much whatever money we're making, I think it's going right back into the other booths as well. So yeah.
We do understand that. And then we've got one last question.
Right. So you've got young kids. What's the favorite ride?
Oh, I will say my son he's 7 this year. He is now tall enough to go on the hang gliders, which is something that he is really excited about. I will say that I appreciate all the rides, but I will not be on one.
You're the support person.
I will just be the person on the outside taking pictures and enjoying watching my kids have fun. So
we always called my mom, we always told her she rode the bench.
Absolutely.
She does not ride the rides, she rides the bench.
I like the bench when it comes to the rides myself.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight and being a continued part of the Decatur County Fair and all of its success. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
We are going to be back here in just a couple minutes with the Decatur County Tiger Sharks on Tree Country 1330.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Selkin International is thrilled to announce we have acquired Shirks International. Shirks has been a part of the Greensboro community for over 60 years, and we proudly introduce ourselves as the new owners and operators of International Truck Dealership in this area. We understand the importance of Shirks' legacy and the trust they have built over the years. We pledge to honor their storied reputation while forging ahead with our customer-centric approach. Silk International has been a family-owned and operated business for 54 years, and we understand the importance of our community, trust, and customer service. Together, let's drive forward for a bright future.
The Decatur County Fair is back, and so are Buy Right Auto's Fair Time Deals. Buy Right Auto is offering what you have been waiting for, the fairest, craziest deals of the year. Mention you heard us on WTRE for $100 gas to go with your crazy fair deal purchase. Come to Buy Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore, 920 North Michigan Avenue, or call 812-662-9922 today for the fairest, craziest deals of the year.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Decatur County 4-H Fair. We're excited to have Saturday evening upon us. The sun is shining. It's a great evening to come out. If you're not on your way, if you're listening to us online or in the car, we hope you're making your way out here. If you're on the grounds, it's going to be a beautiful evening. We've got the midway opening in about 45 minutes. The grandstand's going to kick off at 7:30, and of course, we've got live music right here in the Farm and Home building. They're setting up around us, which is great to see. So we look forward to seeing everyone get started, but we have our next special guest. We have the Decatur County Tiger Sharks here to tell us a little bit about it. We've got Annie Sweeney, Jennifer Fletcher, and Jake Hawkins. So why don't you just start and tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization.
So the Decatur County Tiger Sharks is a non-for-profit organization that is very passionate about helping to teach young children life-saving skills in the water. And beyond that, we work on a lot of leadership and mentoring skills as we take our older swimmers and have them teach and mentor the younger swimmers through different clinics and opportunities. It's a really, really neat organization, and it becomes a family. We always talk about the swim family.
So how did Decatur County Tiger Sharks get started?
It has been in existence since the 70s, I believe. So it's been around as long as I know. And I think it was just a group of people that wanted to make sure that they had the opportunity for some competitive swimming. And there's the CISA organization with several other local organizations in southeastern Indiana, and we have dual meets each summer and end with a end of season competition where all the meets pull together, and it's a lot of fun.
Primarily, we are a competition-based organization. We have swim meets. We teach swimming skills, but as Annie alluded to, we're very much involved in the ability to swim in our community. I mean, what other sport saves lives? Football's a great sport, but nobody saves lives. But if you can learn to swim and teach children to swim, and that's really what our focus is, particularly in our younger ages. We have swim clinics every April that are actually staffed by our older swimmers to help provide that education, provide more bodies in the water. But I think also for the older swimmers, as I think Jake can attest to, that helps to build leadership skills and gives them the opportunity to pass down that knowledge that they have received. But it's also a great lifelong skill. It's a lifelong sport that people can stick with, and it's really hard. If you've never swam the whole length of a pool and done the breathing and done the strokes, it is incredible that a 6-year-old can do it better than me.
Now, Jake, you're a swimmer. So how
Correct.
long have you been a part of the Tiger Sharks?
I have been part of Tiger Sharks since about age 6, so 11 years now.
Okay, so tell us what you like the most about Tiger Sharks.
Tiger Sharks is kind of unique in the sense that we get to go out and with these meets, we just have fun. You know, it's a longer meet. You get to hang out with friends, and the coolest thing about Tiger Sharks is it's kids from age 5 all the way up to 18. So I can walk around the pool deck and I can go see these kids who are, you know, a whole decade younger than me and interact with them, and it's just a unique experience all around.
So what's been your favorite part up to this point? You've still got a few years to go, but what's been your favorite part of Tiger Sharks?
Probably getting to interact with the younger kids. I can remember, 10 years ago being there and looking up towards those high schoolers and being like, I want to be that one day. And if one of them talks to you, it's like, was that a God that just talked to me? and it's cool to think I'm that person now. So I love just getting to interact with them and really bring some joy to their world.
Now, as both of you are parents of Tiger Shark swimmers, why do you want your children to be involved in that organization?
Why wouldn't we? I mean, it's just an awesome, awesome organization. And I really like how it's about doing your best. It's a team sport, so we're obviously trying to win meets, but I love when, especially the tiny ones, come up to me and they say, what's my best time? I'm gonna beat that by 0.3 of a second. So there's so much goal setting, and when you see that click with them, that it's not always about who's first, but about improving themselves. And then with the older kids, my absolute favorite is at the end of a really hard-fought race, and you know the person that just got out-touched by just 100ths of a second is just, man, and they turn to each other and they fist bump or they shake hands or they walk. You see it go all up and down the pool. They're supporting one another, and my kids have made it a passion project to make friends for every team. So it's really neat to see it's a community that extends beyond Decatur County.
I agree. I think it's very much a character building sport. I think, again, as a physician, I think it is ultimately important that kids learn to swim and learn to have comfort in the water, because it truly is a life-saving skill. But I also feel for my own children, it has definitely been a character building experience. Again, it helps them interact with people that they may not, and when they run cross country, they're not with those younger kids. They're not mentoring those younger kids. And, for kids that are particularly shy or don't necessarily have a lot of community involvement, I think it gets them out of their own comfort zone, and it helps them to encourage that. And it is such an encouraging environment. I mean, when the last kid in the pool, the last kid that gets out gets cheered just like the first kid that gets out. And I think that that's so important, because it is an individual team sport. That's kind of how I refer to it, because they're always working on their best, but they're also working as a team to do better together.
Now, if you want to get your child involved in Tiger Sharks, how does someone go about doing that?
So usually the best way is every April we have a swim clinic that we offer. We offer it to kids that are just starting to swim. We offer it to kids who can swim 25 meters to improve their strokes, and then we have kids that are wanting to do like the team Tiger Sharks summer swim team. So April is usually the best time. We also have some fall swim opportunities hopefully coming up. We're working on that right now, and we really kind of have a year-round program that keeps kids in the pool and gets them ready for competition as they get older, or just to learn and get more comfortable in the water.
All right, Josh, I'll let you send them home.
So we always ask, because we're really promoting everybody out here, favorite foods and favorite rides.
My favorite food is the twisted tater. I love me a twisted tater. I don't know. I don't do rides very well. I get a little motion sick, so I'm going to pass on that one.
Food, definitely going with the hot mess. Hot mess all the way. And then I am not a rides kind of person. That is not my thing.
My favorite food isn't really a food, it's the lemonade stand. Every
love it.
night, that's the first place I go, and then the Ferris wheel's my favorite.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. What a great program. I'm so glad to hear about it. And we'll see what we can do to get you some new swimmers.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back on Tree Country 1330 WTRE.
When you have a busy day, every minute matters. That's why the Decatur County Memorial Hospital Pharmacy offers a variety of services to help you receive the care you need to best fit your lifestyle. With a free home delivery option for Decatur County residents, a walk-in retail pharmacy, and a drive-through service, you can choose the option that allows you to receive the medications or prescriptions you need both quickly and conveniently. Our pharmacy proudly accepts all major insurances and offers discounted over-the-counter medications at our retail pharmacy. Another way DCMH is helping you receive the quality care you want close by.
Everything is getting smarter. Good thing your Decatur County REMC has the knowledge and expertise to help you make smarter, work harder. Today, there are more ways than ever to make your world more energy efficient, and Decatur County REMC can show you how. Take the next step to go electric, then put the power of Decatur County REMC to work for you. Decatur County REMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative and your source for power and information.
Kochmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain has been handling grain for area farmers for almost 50 years, with locations in St. Paul and Fairland. They supply corn to the Evan Williams Distillery and are your Purina feed dealer. Kochmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain. They're at 102 West Pearl Street in St. Paul. Phone 765-525-4309. That's Kochmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain of St. Paul.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Live at 5 from the Decatur County 4-H Fairgrounds. It's a beautiful Saturday night. The rides are open. They actually opened at 5. I had a misstatement on my time earlier, but there's also a lot going on. So tonight's show is obviously brought to you by Silking Insurance and a lot of other great sponsors.
Silking International.
Silking International.
You'll get it.
I will.
It's all right. We also want to thank our supporting sponsors, Kochmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain, Decatur County REMC, Napoleon State Bank, Decatur County Memorial Hospital, Decatur County Recycling, Buy Right Auto, and Obermeyer Agri Group. So we've got some 4-Hers with us this evening. The big swine show took place today. So let's start right here with this young lady. What's your name?
I'm Olivia Wechter.
And how long have you been a 4-Her?
10 years.
All right. And you did show swine today?
Yes, I did.
All right. And then let's go over here.
Hi, I'm Michael Kolpinski.
What's your name?
Michael Kolpinski.
All right. And how many years have you been doing 4-H?
I've been doing 4-H for 10 years.
All right. So today was a swine show. For people out there that aren't 4-Hers or come from more of the rural area, tell us what a swine show is.
Basically, you just get your pig ready and make it look the nicest you can, give it a bath, make it look nice, and then you just go out there and walk it, and whatever the judge likes, he likes, and that's who wins.
And so what encouraged you or inspired you to get involved in 4-H, and then maybe specifically with the swine program?
My older brother has been showing pigs. He showed pigs before me, so then I kind of just started showing pigs, and it all went from there.
Really one of my church members. I went to a board viewing with him, and then I was just kind of interested in showing pigs. Went to a lot of open shows with him.
And outside of swine, do you show anything else or participate
I show
in
goats.
Goats as well?
Right. Any other projects?
No, I just do livestock.
Okay. And Olivia?
I don't show any other animals. I used to do baking and pottery, but I don't have time for that anymore, so.
It does get busy. So kind of just I know you don't have all the results of the show today, but some competition going on between you two today.
Yeah.
So tell us what class that was in.
It was a crossbred goat class.
All right, so one's smiling a little bigger than the other. I wonder who came out on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough competition, but I would say that was me coming out on top, but ended up in reserve grand gilt, so that was a good day for me.
All right, so now tell me from both of you, what is swine, so as you look at your future and 4-H and swine participation, what's your end goal? Where do you want to head after you finish 4-H in high school?
I'm going to study to become an ag education teacher, so I think it'll still remain in my life after I'm done with 4-H and obviously out of high school.
After 4-H, I think I'm going to become a salesman.
Right. So what's the rest of the week look like for you? Having swine here, it's a busy week anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely busy having them here, but I made it into Tom Swain yesterday, so I have to learn how to show like 4 different breeds of animals, and yeah, it's just going to be a fun time.
All right, and what about you, Michael? What's the rest of the week look like for you?
Fun.
Fun? Yes. What's your favorite part of the fair? Just being a part of it, being out here.
I think just hanging out with a bunch of friends that get outside of school and you can do a little free will stuff. You can just hang out, have fun. No parents watching you. You just kind of do your own thing.
All right.
And so we always ask towards the end of our interview, what's your favorite food to find out here and favorite ride?
I don't really ride many rides, but if I do, probably the Avalanche. And I like the Crazy Dave's tenderloins. Those are probably my favorite with the lemonade.
All right.
I'm not a big rides guy. I'll ride the Ferris wheel maybe, but State Fair is better rides. A lot more picking for the rides. But I'd say Stacy Beaver is my favorite for food.
Okay. So we not only challenged each other in the pigs, but in the tenderloins as well. All right.
And some different options that were just presented there, too. We're on a little bit of a different roll this evening.
Very much so. Well, we know you guys had a long day of showing and a big show. Thank you for joining us. And if someone wants to become a part of the swine project in 4-H, how do they go about doing that?
I would say if you just come to the pig show and ask, almost anybody will be willing to help you. And you can get into it very easily. There's plenty of breeders in Decatur County that can get you set up with a pig to show.
All right. Well, congratulations, both of you. Sorry it went her way so much today, but it happens.
Well, we've got a lot going on across the 4-H fairgrounds this evening. Of course, the grandstands are going to be open, and the event starts at 7:30. $20 for pit passes, $10 for the grandstand entry. The rides are already open, and our next guest has a lot of connection to that.
He does. Next up, we'll have Andrew from Lore's Ideal Rides. I know he's out getting the midway going, but he should be here any moment, and we've got a lot of questions for him about this whole process. We'll be right back on Tree Country 1330 WTRE.
Hello, this is Joe Mormon, President and CEO of the Napoleon State Bank. 120 years ago, what started as a small-town bank in 1903 has now grown into a strong, locally owned bank with 7 branches that serves Ripley and Decatur counties. A bank that is thankful for our customers and employees and has continued to stay true to who we are. Now that's something worth celebrating. Learn more about our 120-year history at NapoleonStateBank.com.
The Napoleon State Bank, not your typical bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Selkin International is thrilled to announce we have acquired Shirks International. Shirks has been a part of the Greensboro community for over 60 years, and we proudly introduce ourselves as the new owners and operators of international truck leadership in this area. We understand the importance of Shirks' legacy and the trust they have built over the years. We pledge to honor their storied reputation while forging ahead with our customer-centric approach. Selk International has been a family-owned and operated business for 54 years, and we understand the importance of our community, trust, and customer service. Together, let's drive forward for a bright future.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Tree Country 1330 WTRE. We are back here with Fair News Live at 5, brought to you by Silking International. We've got 2 more guests with us, don't we?
We do, and so we are going to focus a little bit on the midway and the rides and the tickets, which obviously are always a big part. We always ask everybody what their favorite ride is at the end of the interviews, so be prepared for that. And we're joined by 2 special guests. First up.
All right, Kevin Kreitz with the Decatur County Fair Board Committee.
Thank you, yes. I am the ticket and ride liaison between the fair committee and Lures. Long relationship, and we do have one little snafu that we had printed in the fair book and wanted to clear that up. We're getting it out on our social media, but there was a misprint that Wednesday night was a one-ticket ride night. Tickets are original price. It is not a extra ride or extra ticket night, but we do have a lot of them. So,
but Wednesday is free parking night.
Wednesday is free parking night, so come on out to the fair Wednesday. But we got some other stuff coming before that. But I did want to make that one of my points to clear up right off the bat.
All right. We also have Andrew from Laura's Ideal Rides. So
can you say his last name?
Kevin, be nice. He's going to get kicked off this stage.
We'll stay away from that.
That's right. So tell us a little about yourself and how you got involved in this business.
Well, this is I'm 36 years old. This is my 37th year here in Greensburg, Indiana. My grandparents came here with the Decatur County Fair Board in 1957. If it wasn't for COVID, this would be our 67th year. Would that make something? I think our math's about right. So 66th year at the Decatur County Fair. And so I was baptized at St. Mary's Catholic Church, as Lures are a German Catholic family, and been coming here every year of my life, and we enjoy it so much here. We have our company picnic before we get open here in the middle of our season, and we enjoy the hospitality and all our friends. We have more friends here than anywhere.
Andrew, we've had the opportunity to talk a little bit the last couple of years, and I know that your family's been a big part of our event every year, which we're grateful for. But you guys do so much good work to keep it updating and modernizing and bringing new features, and I think you've got a couple this year as well, right?
Yes. We have one new feature family ride that's towards the front of the midway in front of the Ferris wheel, a Dalmatian. It's the first of its kind. It's called the Flying Puppies, and it's flying Dalmatians that fly around, and this has taken us 2 years to get from Italy, and it's beautiful. It's got little music. The kids seem to love it. And then we also have a couple other feature rides we brought in this year. We have a new bounce house called the Bouncin' Barnyard for the real little tykes to go in, and then a new spectacular ride that's on its way to state fairs up in the northern part of the country called the Orbiter. And that is another fave among teens that I could not go near because I can barely do the Ferris wheel.
Now, I'm curious, Kevin, you're the liaison. Kind of tell us how it works between you and Lures and how this comes together for our fair year after year.
Well, we meet in January at a fair and festival committee and kind of talk about new ideas and what nights we're going to have the specials and just kind of the flow of the fair. And we work so well together. Like I said, long-term relationships. So they bring us ideas, we give them ideas, and it really works out really well.
All right, so Andrew, here is my question. When you hit that midway, you're a kid out there and you're hitting that midway, where do you go first?
The Ferris wheel. I always go to the Ferris wheel and I like to ride the Ferris wheel every event we go to because you get a bird's eye view of the whole event and all the way around. Tonight, if you get on that Ferris wheel, you might get a sneak peek of that demo derby, which we're happy the fair brought back as well.
All right, and you also offer so many. We have local food varieties, but I consider yours local as well because we've had you year after year. So what are some of those treats on the midway?
Well, kettle corn. I like the kettle corn from the Yum Yum shop. And fried Oreos are a new favorite, too. They're kind of a new generational favorite that everybody likes.
So growing up in this business, because he's the mayor and I do radio, so tell us how this business works.
Well, there's a lot of intricacies, and the one thing I can compare it to with a lot of Midwestern friends more than anything is it's being generational and being impossible to start from scratch in this day and age. It's kind of like farming in a way. We work at it every day. There's a lot of ins and outs. We have a lot of employees, a lot of families we support, and we're proud to have a lot of long-term employees, not only from here, but visa employees from other countries. And we all enjoy coming here to Greensburg, of course, but we enjoy going to every community. It's, I guess, a very integral part of what we do as a whole is when we go to every community, we're guests. But Greensburg is one of those places we make us feel more than guests, and we appreciate that.
Now, I think it's a great thing that we're able to offer the pre-sale tickets every year, get a little bit of a deal on those tickets. I know, Kevin, you worked really hard this year, had a lot of locations.
Yes, we did, and I want to thank every one of those pre-sale locations. It's a savings for the community. The $20 sheets for 22 tickets, and I'm proud to announce that we had a very successful pre-sale. So I want to thank all those businesses, local businesses, and I can do it by name, but maybe here at the end I'll thank them all individually. But community support is great. So that's a big deal for the fair committee, that those tickets are already out there, and that means people are going to come ride Andrew's rides.
I was surprised too, and we were having a conversation last night, and I didn't even think about it, but you guys are able to separate how many pre-sale tickets come in, how many of the night of sale, all of those, and I just didn't even think about that.
Yes, it's an organized effort, but I will say here, if it wasn't for the support of the community here and the support of Mr. Kevin Kreitz and his father before him, and really boosting the opportunity for people to buy more pre-sale tickets. And we want people to save. We want more people to come to this community. And we truly believe that this long-term relationship we've had here is the premier fair of this quadrant of the state in southeastern Indiana. And we want to continue to grow it, and we want people to be able to see what Greensburg and the county have to offer when they come visit from other communities.
All right, we've got the big questions for them. This will be interesting.
Well, Andrew's already answered for food and food and rides.
Although he likes local stuff too, so.
Kevin, what would you pick as your favorite food and favorite ride?
Well, I can get in trouble on this one.
I just call it the circuit. I just do the food circuit.
The food circuit, yes.
The food circuit.
But I guess my first stop would probably be the walking tacos.
You did good on that answer.
Yeah. That pays well at home. And then my favorite ride, I think I'd go with Andrew and the Ferris wheel. You get such a spectacular view from the top of that, on the top of the hill, and you look down over, airport, ball diamonds, the track, even over to the golf course. So that is a pretty spectacular view.
All right. Now, Andrew, would you pick any other food on the grounds besides just at the Yum Yum shop?
Absolutely. I look forward to the pork chop here, which I have not had yet, and I still have yet to have a fish sandwich from Let's. So I have 2 more items that I need to visit here in a few more days. Well, I need to visit them more than once, Kevin.
Got to get your fill,
yes,
right?
I got to do a 2 pork chop and a 1 pork chop, and I'll have a walking taco too.
So Andrew, as you talked about before we let you go, obviously you and your family spend all summer, really most of the winter too, traveling all over the country. How many stops do you make? How many places do you go? And I give your family kudos. You guys roll in, you know everybody by name, you know all of the great places to be, but I'm sure that's a challenge with how many stops you make annually.
It is, but one thing that helps that is long-term relationships, which was taught to us by my grandparents, and that's the way to stay successful in a long-term business. And between coming from everywhere from the Decatur County 4-H Fair to the Iowa State Fair to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, we have about 36 stops, and it helps to have long-term relationships, not only personally, but when we come to town, we put money into the town. We know the Shirks really well. We know where to take stuff to get welded. We know hydraulic folks very well.
I had a great compliment on Laura's business that did some work for you, and you don't stop and think from my perspective, that you do have to utilize those businesses around. So we do appreciate that from our community. Kevin, you've got the list.
I've got the list, and I want to thank every one of these businesses that supported the pre-sale tickets. One thing somebody asked, they do it for nothing. I mean, they support the fair. They want you to support their businesses, and like I said, I'd like to thank each one of them individually. First, Vinyl Solutions, Sanders Market, Let's Hardware, Lowe's Pellets and Grain, Game Plan, Sid's Florist Wash and Clean, Delta Faucet sells to their employees and appreciate that. WTRE has been a great sponsor or helper for years. Napoleon State Bank, 3 locations, Lincoln Street, Westridge, and Westport. German America Bank, Valio supports us with their employees also. The new ones this year, actually I added Napoleon State Bank at Westport, but I also added REMC, Decatur County, Tops Hardware, and ProMan Staffing. And like I said, I just want to thank each and every one of those businesses. You know, they don't get free rides or nothing. They just do it to support the fair, and we thank everybody for supporting those businesses.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here tonight. Andrew, I think you're going to come back and join us Monday? Yes. Yeah, so we'll do some more talking and chat about some more rides and get some more insight to this world. So
The Midway is open, so be sure to come out and join that. Thank you to Andrew and Kevin for joining us here on Live at 5, brought to you by Selking International. We are very fortunate to have a lot of great sponsors in our community, as Kevin mentioned as well. Our next guest is also volunteering a lot of hours this week. Chris Ramey with the parade will be our next guest right after this short break.
Hello, this is Joe Mormon, President and CEO of the Napoleon State Bank. 120 years ago, what started as a small-town bank in 1903 has now grown into a strong, locally owned bank with 7 branches that serves Ripley and Decatur counties. A bank that is thankful for our customers and employees and has continued to stay true to who we are. Now that's something worth celebrating. Learn more about our 120-year history at NapoleonStateBank.com.
The Napoleon State Bank, not your typical bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Tree Country 1330 WTRE. Welcome back to Fair News Live at 5, brought to you by Selking International. We're coming to you live from the Farm and Home Building. We have had quite the packed night, haven't we?
We have. We've had a lot of special guests, which is great, and it's showing that our popularity is gaining.
That's right. Watch out. I guess it's not Regis and Kelly or Ryan. It's, who are you now? Mark. Mark and Kelly, I think. We're not home then, I know. All right, but before we get started on our next guest, the dunk tank.
Yes, we have. I told him I'd give him a special plug. He's going to be in there for about 13 more minutes. It's okay. Commissioner Jeremy Pazel. So stop by the New Directions dunk tank, make a donation, dunk him. Of course, they joined us on the first night of the fair to talk about their fundraising efforts. I know they've got a lot. Sheriff Myro's mentioned one of his deputies, Logan Wilder's going to be in there. Commissioner Pazel's in there. So stop by the dunk tank and throw some softballs at him.
I say spend the big bucks. $10, you just hit that button and dunk in.
Sounds like a plan. So our next guest donates a lot of time and effort behind the scenes. Chris Ramey is in charge of the parade. He also does a great job running the Decatur County 4-H Fair social media. So we're joined by him to talk about tomorrow night. I think we're setting records for Decatur County parade length, Chris. So good evening and thanks for being here.
So right now we have about 110 signed up. I am getting phone calls. I've probably had about 15 phone calls today of additional people who want to be in the parade. They will be joining at the end. So I think it's going to be quite a long parade, so make sure if you're coming to bring a bag for all the candy you're going to get.
That's been the biggest question I've had from people. Now, you don't throw candy. I'm like, oh no, this parade is a candy parade.
You know what? I have 3 daughters that if I ever said no candy, they would all 3 come at me.
So tell me, how would you get ready to start organizing a parade? Where does it start?
Biggest thing is reaching out to those who were involved the year before. Talking to them, finding out if they're still interested, and then honestly just kind of checking with the Greensburg-Decatur County Chamber of Commerce, also other entities within town that work with new businesses, reaching out to them. It's a free way for these companies to get out here and be seen. Also, just different organizations that may have formed over the year.
It's also always a big opportunity for organizations to get a lot of exposure. There isn't an entry fee. There really isn't any barrier to joining, which is great to see. And I'm always a little anxious about running out of candy, talking about candy before we get to the end. I asked somebody asked me the other day, I said, my base is 2,500 suckers, and then I usually buy an insurance policy along with that. So it's always a lot of fun. But if someone does want to still get involved, it is tomorrow. We would love to have them join you earlier next year. But how would they get a a hold of you, or where could they find you on the grounds?
So what they need to do is we're going to start lineup at 3:30 p.m., which will be there at McKee Street. They will just come there. There will be either a police officer, a CERT team member, or there'll be someone there with a clipboard. We'll put it that way. Watch for the clipboard. Once you get there, just tell them that you're not part of pre-registration. However, we can add you to the end. We did it last year. I think we had 23 people show up last year. It's not a big deal. Just, going forward, it'd be nice to have before that we can get you in different lineup.
And what is the theme for the parade this year?
It is fun around the farm.
So what are you expecting?
Well, I will say, my daughter's in Girl Scouts, and I saw on the Girl Scouts page is that they were putting out that all the girls need to come dressed in their best farm outfits. So I think quite a bit of that. Last year, Special Olympics, they had won our most enthusiastic float, and I think they have some really cool things going on this year. They did a luau theme last year, and it was really neat.
And there's also a competition. You just mentioned winning, so there's some secret judges that are stationed throughout the parade route, if I recall correctly.
So that is different. So before, in years prior, we've always done judging before we left to Ireland Street. But however, after thinking about it, it's not very fair to those groups because they're still putting their stuff together, they're talking, they're doing things. They're not going to be at their best until they get out on the line. So there is going to be judges throughout the entire parade line. They will be letting me know who the best and most enthusiastic as a 4-H entry, most enthusiastic as just a general company or organization, and then I'm on the spot. I can't think of the other one.
A surprise one. Let's just
there's another one. There you go.
Team?
No. So
I think it is. I think it is like who has the most theme.
And obviously there's another big change this year with the routing. So if you're on the grounds listing, if you're at home listing on WTRE, or if you're listing on WTRE Radio on YouTube, you can tell us a little bit about that change because it is going to be very significant at the end.
So one of the things we're doing, we are still going to come off Ireland. We're still going to get on Park Road. We're going to come up to where the animal shelter is here in Greensburg on the fairgrounds. We're going to turn in that way and go down by the horse barns. One thing I'm going to interject, when we go by the horse barns, we are asking that everyone cease their sirens and any type of flashing lights. That's for safety and the well-being of those horses. Also, we ask that only those that are part of the 4-H horse, that they be around their barn. We really don't want a lot of people gathering down there due to safety. Other than that, we're going to come up through the fairgrounds, go in front of the headquarters building, and then we're going to go down.
We go in front of the commercial building then?
Down the commercial building and then straight out behind where we're at the home and farm this way.
Okay.
One of the things too, Bill Myros is leading the parade. So Bill, he and I went out and cruised in his cruiser a couple nights ago, and we did the whole lineup. He is going to be at the end directing people where you can offload and what you can do. Mike McNeely has been huge in helping us. He's going to have police officers down at the other end. It's a well orchestrated, a lot of people involved.
So you need to pay attention to the route because if you may have sat in the same seat for several years, the parade may not go in that same location.
And one of the things too, at the end of the parade, down at the bottom of the hill there by the animal shelter, everyone is going to turn in except for the last couple entries, which is going to be Sweets Rotators and also Harmeyer Transport. Due to the electric lines in the fairgrounds, they cannot come through.
All right, now you also do have a grand marshal for the parade tomorrow.
Our grand marshal is the Extension Homemakers.
Very nice.
So it's they've done a lot of work, and I don't know the specifics. They've been around
forever.
Yeah,
they're great.
I was gonna say, I remember my entire life, like they've always been somewhere. So I think it's time to give these individuals a little bit of glorification they deserve and all the hard work they've done here in Decatur County.
Well, thank you, Chris, for all the work that you do to help set that up. Obviously, you mentioned lineup starts at 3:30, parade steps off at 5, and we're going to make our way down. I did have a little short conversation with the sheriff about not leaving us all behind by speeding down Park Road.
You know what?
The sheriff is currently yelling at us off camera at 10 miles an hour. We discussed that, Sheriff. I'll chat with you later about that. But thank you to Chris and everyone. Their committee is incredibly great to work with on behalf of the city, and EMS and EMTs and CERT and EMA and all the acronyms.
Let me tell you this part. I will tell you the first thing Josh says to me, I come into this role of doing the parade. Josh sends me an email back, and he says, oh yeah, I want to be part of it, and the police are going to be part of it. We love it. And then he says at the bottom, but I will add, as a walker, could we please not go 10 miles, 5 miles an hour?
What is the appropriate speed, Josh?
2.5 miles per hour.
2.5 miles per hour, okay.
Chief McNeely and I have hammered that
You
out
hear that?
last year during the bicentennial. We had so many parades, we got it down specifically. So that's where we're at. But Chris, thank you. We do need to start wrapping up our live at 5.
Thank you so much for being
Chris.
here.
We are Union 22, which is out of Lawrenceburg, is the band that's going to be here at the Farm and Home building. They are building up around us, so it is going to start here at 7. And of course, the Midway is already open. The grandstand is going to be open it is open. The event starts at 7:30. We would be glad to have you join us down there as well.
All right, we've got Mark Kors joining us. I love that smile, Mark. Yes. All right, Mark, you have been an integral part in the fair committee. Tell us, I won't ask how many hours because I know you've put a bazillion in, but overall, how do you think this year's fair has gone?
I think it's going fantastic. Last year was tough for us because it was our first time. This year we kind of know where we're headed, and we've tweaked some things, and I think the fair is going fantastic.
All right, there's been a lot of new things and new additions. I know that we've got a lot of compliments on our pit, or not the pit, but the grandstand. And what was it like bringing some of those events back?
We went to the fair convention in January and toured that and saw some new things and talked to some other counties at what they were doing and what they liked and what worked for them. Tonight, the demo derby is, I don't know if you knew yet, it's going to be delayed 30 minutes because they have so many entries.
That's amazing.
So they expected 35, and I think they were at 55 just a few minutes ago. So it's going to be a long night.
That's great. And I was chatting with Commissioner Pazel before we went on, and he said that there were more than we thought, but he didn't know, I think it was going to be that many, because he's been in the dunk tank in new directions.
I was throwing bricks at him.
Yeah, and I heard you were up next hour, so.
You heard wrong.
Oh, okay. Obviously, you spend a lot of time out here along with the rest of the fair committee, and you've made some great improvements this year to the grounds. Would you talk a little bit about what those have been?
Yeah, the commercial building, we completely put a ceiling and metal walls in there, insulated. I think it's a lot cooler, and it's not pleasant yet, but it's a lot better than it was last year. New lighting, new LED lighting. We put new LED lighting in the livestock building, took out the old mercury vapors, and it's a little brighter in there, and when you turn the switch on, the lights come on. It's not a delay situation. So we're getting there.
So there has been a change. We're obviously in the Farm and Home building on this stage. The free tent in the center, that was something you guys decided to make a change with this year, but you have had this stage packed. I know we're on it every night, but you've also had musical guests that are lined up for the fair as well.
Yes, we try to have something going on here every night. Bill and his group was kind of a last-minute thing. They called just a few nights ago, and hey, I see you got Saturday night open. Can we play? So, yeah, they're going to be here tonight. Tuesday night, I know we have Dane Clark Band. He's used to play for John Cougar, Mellencamp. They said to make sure we had the doors fully open because they would blow the sidewalls off. So I'm looking forward to hearing them.
Mark, I know you've put a lot of hours into this fair. He has been very generous to me, and when I said, can you move this or can you do that, he's done it. So, but I sincerely, on behalf of the committee, you guys have done an amazing job, and we thank you for the fair that you've produced.
Thanks for asking me to come up, and we're here to serve, so we want the fair to be the best it ever was.
All right, we'll let you off the stage. I know it's not your favorite place to be. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
The fair committee is made up of Commissioners Mark Kors, Jeremy Pazel, Tony Blodgett, and then, of course, track events are headed up by Scott Best and Garrett Metz. Fair rides, Kevin Kreitz, we spoke to him earlier. Booth and vendors are Bill Metz, Danny Peters. The fair we just spoke with, or the parade we just spoke with Chris Ramey, and then the Miss Decatur County Fair pageants headed up by Barb Wechter. The fair book's done by Bonita Helmick. And of course, the extension staff does a great job with all of that as well.
What a night we've had. Fabulous guests. We thank them all for joining us and being here tonight. Real quick, I do want to remind everyone, junior leaders are collecting food. They've got the trailer out by the headquarters building. The heaviest load will win $5,000 towards the 4-H community. So please help junior leaders get there. We do again want to thank Silking International for sponsoring us. Josh, tell us what tomorrow looks like.
Tomorrow looks like we've got the horse and pony show, the sheep show, and then of course the buildings will be open. At 5 p.m. is the parade, and after the parade, we also have Barnyard Olympics, which is in the livestock pavilion that's open to all 4-H'ers. 1 o'clock, we've got the kids pedal tractor pull, and then of course the rodeo is tomorrow evening as well. That will start at 7 o'clock. Pit passes are 20, grandstands are 10, and it is discount ride night on the Midway at 5. So we hope to see everyone out along the parade route. We will not be here tomorrow.
We will not. We're going to turn it over to Jim and Kathy Versman. They'll bring you the parade starting at 5 o'clock live from the front lawn of WTRE.
Quick preview for Monday then. We have the beef show, the poultry show, and then also 4-H mini show in the horse and pony. And then of course the fashion review will happen along with the pie contest we mentioned. And then frog jumping's at 6:30, 4-H fashion reviews at 7. And then the grandstands on Monday night is the Stones Farm Service Pro Stock Shootout. The tractor pull is back. Again, that's a 7 o'clock start time.
We've got so many great events coming. Frog jumping, one of my favorite. Can't wait for that one on Monday night. A big thanks to our supporting sponsors, Kochmeyer Brothers Feed and Grain, Decatur County REMC, Napoleon State Bank, Decatur County Memorial Hospital, Decatur County Recycling, Buy Right Auto, Obermeyer Agri Group. Everyone have a great evening. On behalf of Josh Marsh, I'm Emily Versman. We'll be back with you Monday night. Join